Okay, today we're going to take a look at some of the tools that we have located at the top of your window right now. The first one we're going to look at is the screen shade. And the screen shade basically shows and hides the screen. Much like the old-fashioned overhead projectors would work with a piece of paper, you can pull your screen from left to right and up and down, hiding things that are behind. You can quickly get rid of it by clicking on the X or clicking back on the screen shade up at the top to engage it. Another useful little tool is this magic pen, and the magic pen's been around for a little while now, but it's kind of nice. If you just want to draw some things on your file but not necessarily keep them, then the magic pen's nice. You'll notice that the ink begins to fade away after a few seconds. The other thing that magic pen does is if you wanted to highlight or take a look at a particular word, you could draw a quick circle around it and it will highlight where you want the focus to be. Another thing that you can do is sometimes there's someone sitting at the back of the class that just can't see a certain word or object, and you can draw a rectangle around the object and it will enlarge it for you. And the magic pen is a nice little tool that allows you to do some fun little interactive. The next thing we want to move on to is just the different pens and the fact that you can customize these to whatever you want. I have this as a possible pen, but I don't see a whole lot of use for something like that. So what I can do is I can select that pen, and then over on the Properties menu, I can now customize it. And if I want it to be that sort of nice turquoise, a little bit thicker, and I can change the line style, and maybe what I want it to do is have an arrowhead on it at the end of it. Now what I can do is, if I like that, click Save Tool Preference. You'll notice it changes the icon up here, and now what you can do is just simply draw the line and it will put the arrowhead on. So a nice little feature. Moving along, you have some other sort of fun things that you can do. You can select some of the special markers that allow you to highlight certain things. And then very quickly, if you want to get rid of everything, the new versions of Smartboard Software 10.8 version allows you to clear ink from the page all at once. Now you can do this the old-fashioned way, which is click on the eraser tool and start to erase what you've written on. But that might take you a while. So one thing that you could do is draw a large circle around everything and then just tap in the middle. And what that does is that gets rid of everything that it sees, and you might have to go around and clean up just a few things. We're going to move over and take a look at the tab on the right here, the picture tab, and this is one that I find really helpful. One thing that you can do is, if you have certain images that you use quite a bit, you can store them into My Content. And so what you can do is, if you have an image and you know that you're going to use that image over and over again, let's see if we can find one here. Say you have this picture of this knife, and you know that you're going to use that over and over. But what you can do is you can take that knife, drag it, hover it over the picture icon, and then up through My Content, or if you have My Content open, you can just drop it right there. And as you see, the knife image has appeared. The nice part about this is when I open and close Notebook, it will still be there. Gallery Essentials are really nice. There are over 5,000 pictures, almost 400 interactive media, and I challenge you to explore some of these. They're really quite nice. You can also search for certain items. So if I'm looking for something about dogs, I can type in dog and hit enter. And all of a sudden now I revealed that we have 16 pictures of dogs. We also have 4 interactive media, which may allow you to drag a picture in. And anytime you see this little icon down here, that's a sound icon, and we should hear a little dog bark or something along those lines. One of the other things that is in this folder is the Smart Exchange, and that's something I want to talk about because we don't want you to reinvent the wheel every time you're creating a project. And the Smart Exchange is really nice. You can access it right here by clicking on Smart Exchange, or you now have an icon up in your toolbar right here called Smart Exchange, and if I click that, it will automatically open up a browser and take me to the Smart Exchange website. So I'm on the internet now. In the Smart Exchange, what this allows you to do is you can search for particular smartboard lessons already created by other people and that were uploaded. And so you can see some of them are here in front of you, the teacher recommended ones. There's some recently shared and then some top downloads, so you can see which ones are quite popular. And one thing you could do is you could just enter some words into it and click search. And what this will do is it will go and search for all the sites that have Romeo and Juliet in it. And you see right away you've come up with 35 resources. Some of these may be great, some may not be. Maybe you're looking for a Jeopardy game. Well, you can click to preview and it will do exactly that. You can kind of go through the first couple slides and this will give you an idea of what the presentation's like. If it's something that you want, you can click download or open in Notebook Express. Download will give you the file. Now, if you don't have a Smart Exchange email address or password, you need to create one. It is free and you just need an email address. You would enter in that information and then you would be able to get that file. And so if you click on download, the file should start to download. It's not a very big file, just over a meg, but now what I can do is I can open it up in Smart Notebook and it will allow me to take a look and see what it's like. I can edit it, change it around, add my own font or text, and go from there. So I see it's a Jeopardy board where if I click on names, it brings me to a separate page. And maybe what I want to do is I want to change this a little bit. If I double click, I can now edit exactly what I want. Maybe I just want to change the color of the font. So maybe I'm going to make it more of a red and then click off to emphasize. Or maybe I actually want to change the words themselves. Just double click and it allows you to change. We've got a nice little toolbar kind of here at the bottom that takes me back to the main page, and I can click on another item. Again, this allows you to edit all of the font that's in here, so this is quite a nice one. So Smart Exchange is a great idea, and it allows you to search for things that you look for. You can also filter by subjects, by grades, and by country. We're seeing more and more of these notebook software files already created, especially for secondary. If you have a resource you want to share, they encourage you to do that as well. The last thing I want to take a look at is sometimes you'll come across some font that you can't move. It's stuck to the page. And if that happens, then typically what they've done is you're going to be writing over top of it and you don't want to move it around. Now when I click it, it does have this little lock here, but anything that has a lock can also be unlocked. And now you can move it around, you can edit it, change whatever you want. So if you do see an object that you think is stuck because it has this little lock symbol, then that's something that what you can do is unlock it. Another tool that's really helpful is the camera tool. And the camera tool is basically a screen capture software that allows you to screen capture basically anything. So if I go back to this web page in Google Chrome, this menu bar follows me along. And if I click on the capture, it disappears and my cursor changes to a plus sign. And if I want to just copy just this little icon right here, this little bar, I can click and drag over it, and what happens then is it copies it into my currently open notebook file. And there it is. Now it's in here. I can shrink it, I can rotate it, I can move it around, I can actually drag it over into my gallery and keep it as one of my content. Just drop it in there, and there it is now. There's that picture I just found. So the screen capture tool is a really helpful tool. It allows you to grab pictures of pretty much anything on any page.